We've got the brand new 22 Nissan Frontier in the shop today, and we are transforming it from bone stock to something as awesome as this. Follow along as we show you how it happens with a 6-inch lift and some 33-inch tall tires. We've got the all-new 2022 Nissan Frontier up in the lift. This is the first one that we've had in here for a big 6-inch lift and some 33-inch tires. I wanted to show you a little bit what we've got going on here because, like I said, it's the first one in this shop. This lift is very similar to most big 6-inch diff drop kits that we do. As you can see, it comes with two big old cross members, one in the front, one in the back. And that allows us to lower the entire front differential and axle shaft assembly so that we've got nice flat axle angles. As you can see, we still have got the lower control arm and upper control arm in place. It does use the factory control arms in those locations, but because this is so much lower now, you replace the stock steering knuckle with this monster that it comes included in Rough Country's kit. This thing definitely weighs a bunch more, but as you can see is substantially taller to make up for the difference in that front differential drop. With this kit and with all big 6-inch diff drop kits like this, whether it's a Ram, Chevy, GM, there are some minor frame modifications that need to happen to get this thing installed. We've got a couple little pieces that were cut off, two little brackets that were cut off of the original differential drop mount on the left side of the vehicle right over there, and that allowed us to bolt this rear cross member in place. So when you hear frame modifications, don't be scared. This is all that we're doing to your truck. I really like these differential drop brackets because it still has these cammed locations which allow us to perform an awesome alignment. 9 times out of 10, these things align perfectly with just the factory eccentrics that come just installed like that. We've got a couple things to do on the front still. This kit includes a front sway bar relocation drop, so we've got those brackets to install. And as you can see, we've got the knuckle and everything to reassemble. This is the axle shaft and steering, which all remain. David's got the struts in place. This kit was ordered with the Rough Country quick struts or lifted strut. It is a whole complete assembly, so we're not reusing anything from the factory stuff. So as you can see, here is the factory strut. We've taken it out and unfortunately it's going in the scrap pile because look at the height difference in the factory strut versus the Rough Country strut. It's almost 6 inches difference, or probably even more than that. Right around 6 inches difference, and that's where we're getting a bunch of our lift. In my haste, talking about frame modifications, I forgot to mention one other frame modification that happens, and that is the removal of this piece. As you can see, it goes right here, just like this. This side unbolts, so it comes out of this cross member, but due to the front drive shaft dropping down, you have to cut this support off of this here cross member. You still have the one on the opposite side, and it bolts in here and here, which the engineers at Rough Country deem as sufficient. I also want to note this cross member gets removed, and that actually went right there, so this one takes its place. But when we're talking about frame modifications, this is the only cutting really that needs to happen, and this piece technically isn't even part of your frame. It's actually part of this cross member that has the transmission support in it. This truck is leaf sprung, probably the most simplest suspension. It's been around on vehicles for over 100 years, and what we do is very simply put a spacer between the leaf spring and the axle. Those spacers look just like this. And so it is a lift block. We use lift blocks all the time. Many factory trucks come with a lift block like this on the Super Duties, Silverados, that kind of stuff. So we've got new lift blocks and new U-bolts. We always do that every single time when we're doing a lift. We've got a new skid plate, which will go on the front there, and new shocks in the back also. Right behind me, we've got wheels and tires. These things look like 6-shooters, so they are appropriately named the Dirty Harry. I like this wheel because it is in gray, and with a black truck, it provides a lot of really nice contrast. The big reveal, the Dirty Harry, the 6-shooter. This is from KMC, and this is an 18-inch wheel. It's 8.5 inches wide, and we mounted, these are general grabbers, and a 265/70/18. Now, if you can't do the math in your head, that is a tire that is about 32.5 inches tall and about 10.5 inches wide or so. So for all intents and purposes, it's like a 33/1050 or thereabouts. One thing that's unique about this wheel, and specifically on this truck, is they use a 6-on-120 bolt pattern, which is not what we see on most 6-lug trucks. So if you're shopping for wheels for your Frontier like this, just remember that it is a 6-on-120, which may narrow down your selection somewhat. So David's got the Frontier all done on the ground, and it's looking really, really good. We've got it on the alignment rack, and I want to show you a little bit. These are the heads that we use on the wheels when we're doing alignment. Installation is pretty easy. You use these little hooks, and you hook it over the tire tread, and then clamp it down with this bracket, so it goes on just like this. And as you can see, there's nothing actually clamping the head to the wheel. So although the head is touching the wheel, there's no clamp marks. I know that's one big concern that we get all the time. When we roll this tire forward, the alignment machine is taking pictures of these geometric shapes and is calculating caster, camber, and toe, and then we can make the necessary adjustments to get those absolutely perfect. So while we're in the front, I want to talk about a little bit of what we did. We did have to do a little bit of trimming right here in the front portion of the bumper. Once we get the alignment all done and our camber and caster set exactly where we want it, we're gonna have to see if we need to trim the back of this mud flap. We may either need to remove it or cut it down if necessary, but we won't know that until we know the exact position of the tire in the fender well. Rough Country includes a hard metal brake line that has you install it in this distribution block and lower the rubber hose so that the brake line is long enough. That basically takes care of the front end and everything that we had to do. Let's go out to the back because there's some neat stuff out there as well. Now that we're under the back of the Frontier, there's a few things to show you. One thing is that these U-bolts that Rough Country provides are a little bit larger in diameter, so we did have to drill out this plate here. I believe David said that he used a 9/16 drill bit to drill those out, so we've got enough room to fit the new U-bolt through. For brake line and ABS line relocation, Rough Country has you pull them out of these hangers way up in the top and pull them out of these hangers here on the axle. I didn't really like that because it was just hanging all around. So what we did is we installed one of these stainless steel P-clamps here, and that has the lines secured nice to the leaf spring top plate, if you will, there. So they're not going to be interfering with anything or getting in the way. So we just pulled the Frontier out of the shop and it looks awesome. The customer's here waiting in the lobby to pick it up and he is super pumped about his truck. I can't thank him enough and all of our clients for giving us the opportunity to have fun like this in the shop every single day. To do a quick recap, we did the Rough Country 6-inch lift. Install went phenomenal. We've got the KMC Dirty Harry 6-shooters for wheels in an 18 by 8.5 inch wide. These tires are a metric size, but they are right around 33 inches tall, and I think the whole thing turned out awesome. It is gonna be the ideal truck to have fun with, to commute with, to use a little bit off-road on the weekends. What more could you want? If you like this video, be sure to follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. We create tons of content and feature them all over the place online. If you have any questions about this, feel free to hit us up in the comment section on YouTube. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.